With me to discuss the latest news on this decision is attorney Yifa Segal, fellow with the Israel Security and Defense Forum and international director of UK Lawyers for Israel. Hi, Yifa, thank you for joining.
Hi, thank you for having me.
98 countries voted in favor of the resolution, with 17 voting against and 52 abstaining. How concerned should we be?
Well, I think we should be very concerned. Unfortunately, on the international arena, we keep on taking these hits with the international establishments. And last time we've seen something similar like that was in the opinion that was asked of the ICJ in regards to the security fence back in 2004. And we see that echo the consequences still affect us today. That decision is being quoted again and again and again. And it is not understood, unfortunately, as something that is only an opinion. It does not create international law, but actually the world understands it as something that has gravity a lot more than it should. And so it's a judiciary mechanism. It is taken very seriously. And so unfortunately, the world doesn't understand how politically motivated these institutions are. And there are ramifications, as I said, that we can see decades ahead.
How do you actually explain the legitimacy that so many countries are giving the resolution by voting for it? I mean, some of them are Russia and Ukraine, but also Arab countries Israel has ties with, like Jordan, Egypt, and even the UAE.
Well, unfortunately, I think that our good relationships that have started building up with the UAE and other countries in the region does not yet manifest on the international arena. We see a very big difference in terms of Israel relations bilateral with various countries, European countries, Arab countries, and how it actually manifests on the international arena. So when it comes to the United Nations and various establishments of the international arena, we still see them vote against us. There's still an issue of a voting bloc that hasn't been broken yet. I would say to this new government now, it should be a priority on devising a strategy on how to break that bloc and how to really make those countries vote in accordance to their bilateral relationship with Israel, and not just in terms of how their bloc votes on these issues.
What countries were the problematic ones this time? Problematic ones?
Well, we see, I mean, you said it yourself. I mean, we see a country like Ukraine, right? I mean, they keep on pressuring us to be on their side, and we are on their side on many aspects. And yet they turn around and they vote against us on something like this, which is clearly politically motivated. And we see a country like the UAE. I mean, the bilateral relationship is more than a dream come true. I mean, if we looked at what could be 2 years ago, right, when we just signed the Abraham Accords, I think the relationship has exceeded even our wildest dreams and expectations, right, on a bilateral level. But then again, when it comes to voting in the United Nations, it's shocking to people like us. And I think it harms the relationship. And I think that we should really emphasize on these countries that would like our support, both on the international arena and in bilateral relationship, we should demand a price. They should vote with us and not against us.
It is shocking indeed. And Yifa, if the ICJ adopts and supports the motion, what consequences are there for Israel?
Well, it's hard to say exactly, but it's another nail, let's say, and unfortunately, with the coffin of Israel's legitimacy. I mean, we've been fighting the legitimacy of our existence, of our basic policies that we believe are required even for our own survival. And so, to have a judicial institution like the ICJ come out with an opinion that is very, very unfavorable to us would have ramifications. I can foresee that whatever that decision will be, probably against Israel, probably biased, probably unprofessional in terms of really looking into the issues. It can be referenced in any other national parliament or another international institutions. I mean, I can see the ICC maybe later down the line referencing them to say here the ICJ have determined occupation or some kind of an illegal activity. I see the potential of harm that can be caused of this as exponential.
It's definitely concerning. Yifa, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Have a great week.
Thank you.